Hello friends.
Hello, Derek.
Did you know that under coordination we have different types?
No.
Under coordination we have hormonal coordination and nervous coordination. Under hormonal coordination we have the endocrine system and the exocrine system. Under nervous coordination we have the nervous system that deals with the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. However, our major interest today, we shall be looking at the nervous coordination, where we shall look at the nervous system, the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. By the end of our discussion, we should all be able to know the components of the nervous system, to understand the divisions of the nervous system, to appreciate the human brain, to understand how impulses move across nerves, to know about reflex actions, to understand the mechanism of conditioned reflexes, and to know about voluntary and involuntary activities and drug and substance abuse. Sanyu patients will take us through the components of the nervous system. Such a Linda will explain to us the divisions of the nervous system. Senyondo Derek will shed light and make us understand the human brain. Mniaf Benjamin will explain to us how impulses move across nerves under transmission of impulses. Muksa Trevor will take us through the reflex actions. Watema Robin will elaborate conditioned reflexes. Chuaga Dafin Shanta will explain to us voluntary and involuntary activities and their mechanisms. Kunya Marvin will take us through drug and substance abuse. Under that, he will explain to us how these drugs impact on our lives and give us a way forward to live a healthy lifestyle. All the above colleagues are students of Foley Cross Lakeview under the stewardship of our biology teacher, Mr. Ijonai Emmanuel. From wherever you are, all over the country, whether abroad, you are all welcome to this discussion. It's a discussion conducted by students that are lively, that are lovers of biology. Enjoy.
Did you know that each neuron can transmit 1,000 nervous impulses per second and make as many as tens of thousands of synaptic contacts with other neurons? Friends, my name is Sanyu Patience Josephine, and I'm here to take you through the components of the nervous system. As you hear the word, what do you think the nervous system is? This is a system of nerve cells and sensory organs that carry out coordination by transfer of impulses. The composition of the nervous system. This is what makes up the nervous system, and specifically 3 things that make up the nervous system, and these are receptors, neurons, and effectors. First of all, what are receptors? Brainstorm. What do you think receptors are? I think receptors are cell organs that receive stimuli. For example, the sensory endings of the skin, the eyes, the ears. Next are the effectors. These are cells or body structures which perform a particular action in response to impulses reaching them. If you are to observe in our daily lives, if we are to see, how do we see these like effectors? For example, someone touches you. The main example are the muscles. So these muscles respond to the impulses that have been given to them. Are you getting it?
Yes.
Next, from the effectors, we have the neurons. From what I know, a neuron is a functional unit cell of the nervous system that transmits an impulse. And an impulse can be an electrical message. So the neuron is that cell or the unit cell that transmits the impulses. There are mainly three types of neurons, which are the sensory neuron, the motor neuron, intermediate or relay neuron. First of all, I'll first begin by the structure of a neuron. What do you think a neuron looks like? If you are to imagine a neuron, how does it look like? The structures actually vary from the different neurons. They vary, but there are some similarities among the three neurons, which are they are found on each neuron, which are the cell body. The cell body is a structure that comprises of the nucleus. Like we find the nucleus in the cell body, and then also we find the cytoplasm in the cell body. And the nucleus, its work is to control the activities that take place in the whole neuron. Next is the axon. The axon is one, it can be one or more, and they are always extremely long and have extensions running. They come from the cell body and they have extensions that run through, and their work is to carry impulses over long distances in the body. So the other part that is found in all the three neurons is these are the dendrites. These are actually, they are delicate hair-like structures, and they are close in contact with other neurons. Then with that, I'll begin by explaining or brainstorming or trying to make you understand the different types of the neurons. One of them is the sensory neuron. The sensory neuron, do you know what it is? The sensory neuron is a neuron that transports impulses from the receptors to the central nervous system. As my colleague will come and explain to you the meaning of the nervous system. But for now, you have to know that this sensory neuron transports impulses from the receptors to the central nervous system. Well, its structure, it is an elongated cell having one branched end. Its cell body is located on the axon branch. It has one axon, which is short, and it has a long tendron. Its axon ends branched dendrites with synaptic nodes. So the first type of the neurons was the sensory neurons. Do you know what a sensory neuron is? A sensory neuron is a neuron that transports impulses from the receptors to the central nervous system. My colleague will come and explain to you more about the nervous system, but for now, you have to know that the sensory neuron transports impulses from the receptors to the central nervous system. Its structure, let me explain to you how it looks like. It is an elongated cell having one branched end. Its cell body is located on axon branch. It has one axon, which is short. It has a long tendron. Its axon ends with branched dendrites, synaptic nodes. Next, we shall go to the next neuron, which is the motor neuron. The motor neuron carries impulses from the central nervous system to the effectors. As I told you earlier, the effectors, these are the organs that respond to the stimuli. So this neuron carries the impulses from the central nervous system to the effectors. And the motor neuron is an elongated cell with branched ends on one part, and it has a thick part called the cell body containing the nucleus. As stated, that all of them, actually even the sensory neuron, it also has the nucleus in the cell body. So the motor neuron has 10 tendrils which branch into dendrites. It has a long fiber arising from the cell body, forming an axon, which terminates in branches called terminodendrites or end branches. The last neuron is the relay or intermediate neuron. This neuron is like different. It has kind of different than the rest. Even its structure, it's kind of smaller and different from the rest. And its work, it's unique. So this neuron, its work, first of all, you have to know it is found in the central nervous system and carries impulses. Its work is to carry impulses from the central neuron to the motor neuron. It has numerous dendrites to connect with other neurons. So like it's formed in kinda like it looks like an oval, but on either sides it has different dendrites. There are many. These dendrites help it to connect the sensory neuron to the motor neuron. So it's the connector that connects them. And then its cell body, it's found in the middle. That's why I told you it's unique. For it, its cell body is found in the middle of the cell, which contains the nucleus. It is, some people term it as a connector neuron, of course, because it connects the sensory neuron to the motor neuron.